There's a technique FBI agents use in the first 5 minutes of any interrogation. It doesn't involve questions, it doesn't involve pressure, and it works so reliably that it's now taught in every major law enforcement training program in the United States. You've probably already used a version of it without knowing it has a name. The technique is called baseline establishment. And before I explain what it is, I need to tell you what most people get completely wrong about reading other people. Because the thing everyone focuses on, body language, is almost entirely useless without this first. Here's the problem of trying to read someone cold. Every human being has completely unique default behaviors. The way someone naturally sits, how much eye contact they make, whether they touch their face when they're thinking or when they're relaxed. Without knowing someone's baseline, their normal, you have no reference point. Spotting a deviation means nothing if you don't know what you're deviating from. This is why polygraph results are inadmissible in most courts. They measure change, not truth. And change is meaningless without context. So here's what FBI agents actually do in those first 5 minutes. They ask questions they already know the answers to. Not to catch anyone out, to watch. How does this person behave when they're telling the truth? What does their body do? What does their voice do? How long do they take to answer? That becomes the baseline, and everything after that is measured against it. This is backed by research from Paul Ekman, the psychologist whose work on microexpressions informed FBI training for decades. Ekman studies showed that deception detection accuracy without baseline calibration hovers around 54%, barely better than a coin flip. With proper baseline calibration first, accuracy in trained observers rises to over 80%. The baseline isn't the warm-up, it is the technique. And the same principle applies in every high-stakes human interaction: job interviews, negotiations, difficult conversations. Former FBI agent Joe Navarro, who spent 25 years in the Bureau and wrote the book What Every Body is Saying, described this in detail. He said the single biggest mistake people make when trying to read others is jumping straight to interpretation without calibration. He called it going to the dictionary before you know the language. You can look up every word, but if you don't know the grammar, you'll still misread every sentence. Here's how you apply this yourself in any conversation. The first 2 to 3 minutes of any interaction, don't try to read anything. Just establish normal. Ask something comfortable, something with no stakes. How was the journey? How long have you been doing this? Tell me about your week. Watch. Not for lies, for patterns. Then, when the stakes enter the conversation, you have something to measure against. The deviation from normal is the signal, not the behavior itself. There's one more thing Navarro documented that almost nobody talks about. The most reliable deception signal isn't in the face, it's in the feet. Feet are the body part furthest from conscious control. We manage our expressions, we manage our hands, but almost nobody thinks about their feet. A person whose feet orient away from you mid-conversation before their face shows anything is already leaving. The body tells the truth, the face just edits it. You don't need to be an FBI agent to read people accurately. You need to do what FBI agents do before they read anyone at all. Establish the baseline. Know the normal. Then watch for what breaks it. Most people spend 5 minutes forming judgments. FBI agents spend 5 minutes making sure their judgments are worth forming. That's the whole difference.